start to worry.
Mais tant mo eza kitoko.
When the sun is shining,
Ole batu baloba o to pamboli nzambe po mukolo kitoko.
instead of people saying that we bless God for this beautiful day,
To mona ngolo eza normal.
we just think of it as normal.
Non, eza occasion ko pesa nzambe
But
merci.
it is a moment to give God thanks.
To pambwa mina mukolo kitoko.
We are blessed with a beautiful day,
Toza aussi béni
and we are blessed
ya omona les uns les
to
autres.
see each other.
Nzambe apesi yo makasi olali olamuki.
God gave you the strength, you slept and woke up.
C'est un miracle.
It was a miracle.
Telemi ozotambola.
You are standing and you are walking.
Koyi kosolola, koyi koyoka.
You can speak and you can listen.
Et komona na biso nyonso ensemble, c'est encore une grande joie.
And seeing all of us together, it is a great joy.
Toyambaka ngo tomona kango lokola eza kaka normal.
We see it as if it's normal,
Non, komona moninga mutu na tongo so olamu c'est un miracle.
but seeing each other when you wake up is a miracle.
Yango wana so omoni moninga na tongo po pambolaka ye.
And that's why when you see someone, you must bless them.
Pesa ye mbote,
You must greet them
osepelisa ye,
and please them,
ata na mwa sourire.
even by a smile,
Parce que eza miracle oyo eza liboso na yo.
because it is a miracle that is before you.
Amen.
Amen.
Naserapelaka na pasa batambola ye na vie na ngai.
I remember I spent long times in my life,
Des journées de mois
days and months,
oyo namoni mpe motu.
that I haven't seen anyone.
Naza na posa namona bato.
I want to see people,
Me nakoki namona bango.
but I couldn't see them.
Yango wana so nzambe apesi occasion tomonana.
That's why if God gives you the a moment to meet again,
Pambola ye,
bless him.
pambola ye.
Bless him.
Que le Seigneur soit béni.
May the Lord be blessed
Bona présence ya moko na bino.
for the presence of each and every one of you.
Merci pe pai na yo apesi biso esika oyo.
And thank you for the one who gave us this place.
Apesi biso un climat favorable pour nous adorer librement.
And he gave us a weather so we can worship freely.
Un climat,
An environment that we can worship freely.
merci beaucoup. Et ezali pona biso occasion to eba ko salela occasion ya.
And it is for us to use this occasion.
Lelo,
Today,
nalingai na partager na biso sur Gabaon.
I want to speak about Gabaon.
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 Texte na biso d'après eza na livre ya Josué.
Our scripture is in the book of Joshua.
Josué chapitre 9.
Joshua chapter 9.
Josué chapitre 9.
Joshua chapter 9,
Kobana na premier verset.
starting from the first verse.
Et texte na biso eza mwa muke mulai to tanga ngo nyonso tute.
And our scripture is quite long, so we won't read the whole thing,
Mais eza chapitre 9 mobimba.
but it is the whole of chapter 9.
Na version na ngai second a eza na 27 verset.
In my version, it has 27 verses.
Josué chapitre 9
Joshua chapter 9,
verset 1er tina 7.
from verse 1.
Atange.
I will read.
À la nouvelle de ces choses, tous les rois qui étaient en deçà du Jourdain, dans la montagne, dans la vallée et sur toute la côte de la grand-mer jusqu'au près du Liban, les Étiens, les Amoréens, les Cananéens, les Phérésiens, les Éviens et les Jébusiens s'unirent ensemble d'un commun accord pour combattre contre Josué, contre Israël.
When all the kings heard about Jericho and Ai, those who were west of the Jordan in the hill country, in the Judean foothills, and all along the coast of the Mediterranean Sea, towards Lebanon, the Hittites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites, they formed a unified alliance to fight against Joshua and Israel.
Les habitants de Gabaon, de leur côté, lorsqu'ils apprirent de quelle manière Josué avait traité Jéricho et Haï, ils eurent recours à la ruse et se mirent en route avec des provisions de voyage. Ils prirent des vieux sacs pour leurs ânes et de vieilles outres à vin déchirés et recousus. Ils portaient à leurs pieds de vieux souliers raccommodés sur eux de vieux vêtements et tous les pains qu'ils avaient pour nourriture étaient secs et en miettes.
When the inhabitants of Gibeon heard that Joshua had done to Jericho and Ai, they acted deceptively. They gathered provisions and took worn-out sacks on their donkeys and old wineskin cracked and mended.
Ils allèrent auprès de Josué au camp de Gilgal et lui dirent, ainsi qu'à tous ceux d'Israël, nous venons d'un pays éloigné et maintenant faites alliance avec nous.
They went to Joshua in the camp of Gilgal and said to him and the men of Israel, we have come from a distant land. Please make a treaty with us.
Verset 8. Ils dirent à Josué, nous sommes tes serviteurs. Et Josué leur dit, qui êtes-vous et d'où vous venez?
Then the men of Israel replied to the Hivites, perhaps you live among us, how can we make a treaty with you? They said to Joshua, we are your servants. Then Joshua asked them, who are you and where do you come from?
Ils lui répondirent, tes serviteurs viennent d'un pays très éloigné sur le renom de l'Éternel ton Dieu, et car nous avons entendu parler de lui et de tout ce qu'il a fait en Égypte, et de la manière dont il a traité les deux rois des Amoréens au-delà du Jourdain, Sion, roi d'Hesbon, et Og, roi de Bassan, qui était à Ashtaroth.
They replied to him, "Your servants have come from a faraway land because of the reputation of the Lord your God. For we have heard of his fame and all he did in Egypt, and all that he did to the 2 Amorite kings beyond the Jordan, Sihon king of Heshbon and Og king of Bashan, who was in Ashtaroth."
Verset 12. Voici notre pain. Il était encore chaud quand nous en avons fait provision dans nos maisons, le jour où nous sommes partis pour venir vers vous. Et maintenant, il est sec et en miettes.
Verse 12, "This bread of ours was warm when we took it from our houses as food on the day we left to come to you. But take a look.
Ces outres à vin que nous avons remplies toutes neuves, les voilà déchirées. Nos vêtements et nos souliers se sont usés par l'excessive longueur de la marche.
These wineskins were new when we filled them, but now they are all cracked, and these clothes and sandals of ours were worn out from the extremely long journey."
Verset 14. Les hommes d'Israël prirent de leurs provisions et ils ne consultèrent point l'Éternel.
Verse 14, "Then the men of Israel took some of their provisions, but did not seek the Lord's counsel."
Josué fit la paix avec eux et conclut une alliance par laquelle il devait leur laisser la vie, et le chef de l'assemblée le leur jurèrent.
So Joshua established peace with them and made a treaty to let them live, and the leaders of the community swore an oath to them.
3 jours après la conclusion de cette alliance, les enfants d'Israël apprirent qu'ils étaient leurs voisins et qu'ils habitaient au milieu d'eux.
3 days after making the treaty with them, they heard that the Gibeonites were their neighbors living among them.
Verset 23.
Verse 23,
Maintenant vous êtes maudits et vous ne cesserez point d'être dans la servitude, de couper le bois et de puiser de l'eau pour la maison de mon Dieu.
"Therefore you are cursed and will always be slaves, woodcutters and water carriers for the house of my God."
Verset 25.
Verse 25,
Et maintenant nous voici entre tes mains, traite-nous comme tu trouveras bon et juste de nous traiter.
"Now we are in your hands, do to us whatever you think is right."
Josué agit à leur égard comme il avait été décidé. Il les délivra de la main des enfants d'Israël qui ne le firent pas mourir.
This is what Joshua did to them. He delivered them from the hands of the Israelites, and they did not kill them.
Mais il les destina dès ce jour à couper le bois et à puiser de l'eau pour l'assemblée et pour l'autel de l'Éternel dans le lieu que l'Éternel choisirait, ce qu'ils font encore aujourd'hui.
On that day he made them woodcutters and water carriers, as they are today, for the community and for the Lord's altar at the place he would choose.
Amen.
Amen.
Gabaon.
Gibeon.
Gabaon
Gibeon
ezali une ville
is a town
na katikati na terre promise.
in the promised land.
Efandabaki na bambuka na bandiko o babengaki ba Evien.
And the inhabitants were called Hivitites.
Nzambe apesaki nzela te na ba Evien bazala lisusu na mabele wana.
And God did not allow the Hivitites to live there anymore.
Nde moko na babikolo mususu.
Same with the other cultures.
Oite bazalaki kohumela kopesa mukongo epai na Nzambe.
Because they turned their backs on God.
Mabe katikati na bango emataki mingi.
And they had so much evil within them.
Nzambe azwaki décision ete mabele wana esanza bango po ete bana Israël bazwa territoire wa.
God made the decision that the land would chase them away so the Israelites could take that land.
Bana Israël bakoti.
And the Israelites came in.
Nzambe eseki bana Israël ezali te po boza makasi mingi.
God told the Israelites that it's not because you're strong
To boza ebele mingi.
or because you are many,
Mais ezali parce que ba oyo baza kuna baza na bosembo te.
but it's because those who are in the land are not righteous.
Mabe na bango emati mingi.
And all their wrongdoings have come up,
Yango wana mabele wana esanzi bango.
and that's why the land has vomited them
Bino
out.
petango bokokota na mboka
And
wana.
when you go into that land,
Boyeba kobanga Nzambe.
know to fear God,
Nokete mabele wana pe kusanza bino.
or else that land will chase you out as well.
Donc bana Israël bakoti.
So the Israelites came in.
Bitumba liboso ezalaki fallait ba conquérir Jéricho.
The first battle was to conquer Jericho.
Ba conquérir Jéricho.
They conquered Jericho.
Ba deuxième bataille fallait ba bunda contre mboka babenge Ai.
The second battle was to fight against a town called Ai.
Ezaki mwa mboka mwa muke par rapport à Jéricho.
It was a smaller town compared to Jericho.
Mais bana Israël bazwaki défaite tant babundaki na mboka oyo.
But the Israelites had defeat when they fought against this land.
Ezaki pona kati bana Israël batosaki te ba recommandation Nzambe ayebisaki ba.
It's because they did not obey the orders that God gave them.
Na nzela ya akampe libota na ye oyo bazwaki biloko oyo ezalaki ya ekila.
And through Achan and his family, they took things that were
Oyo ezalaki interdit.
that was forbidden.
Et Nzambe a permetaki te Israël ezwa victoire likolo ya Ai pour la première fois.
And God did not allow Israel to have victory over Ai the first time.
Aye kopesa bango victoire après koyeba kobongisa bana Israël kobongisa na Nzambe.
He gave them victory after the Israelites put things right with God.
Siko troisième bagarre.
So the third battle
Eza siko yo Gabaon.
is Gibeon.
Siko ba oyo bazalaki na mboka Gabaon.
And those who were in the land of Gibeon,
Soko tali na livre oyo na chapitre oyo landi chapitre 10.
if you see in the following chapter 10,
Na kubana na verset 2.
in verse 2,
Ba yebisi biso ke Gabaon ezalaki une grande ville.
it tells us that Gibeon was a large city.
Grande ville.
A large city,
Balobi une grande ville comme une des villes royales.
they say a large city like one of the royal cities.
Plus grande même que Haï.
It was larger than Ai.
Wana na zwa ngona Josué chapitre 10 verset 2.
That is taken from Joshua chapter 10 verse 2.
Donc bato oyo baza sikoyo pembeni esika oyo bana Israël bakomi.
So these people were close to where the Israelites have arrived,
Bayoka sango na bango ndenge nini deja babima na maboko ya Pharaon.
and they heard how the Israelites left the hands of Pharaoh,
Ndenge nini désert des années durant ekokaki te kosilisa bango.
how the desert, many years in the desert, could not finish them,
E ndenge nini bakwesi oyo ezalaki mboka ya Jericho.
and how they made Jericho fall,
Ndenge batumbi yango moto.
how they set it alight,
Ndenge basasi yango kosasa.
and how they finished it,
Ndenge basilisi mboka Haï.
how they finished the land of Ai.
Ezalaki ba voisin na bango.
It was their neighbors.
Alto ba Gabaonite bayoki yango.
And so when the Gibeonites heard this,
Balobi biso tokosala nini?
they said, what can we do?
Déjà ba population mususu essaie sali ligue front commun.
Other populations have already made a treaty,
Balobi so to sali makasi te bato oyo bakoyeba kosilisa biso.
said if we do not work smartly, these people will finish us.
Bazwi décision baya ensemble ba bunda bitumba contre Israël.
So they made a decision to come together and fight this battle against Israel.
Mais bandeko ya Gabaon
But the Gibeonites,
bango babi biso tokobunda na bango
they
te.
said, we will not fight against
So
them.
tokosalela mayele mabe.
We'll use wicked thoughts.
Alors Bible etalisi biso ni.
And so what does the Bible show us?
Bazwi ba sapatu ya kokata na balati.
They put on worn out shoes,
Bilamba epasuka balati.
and their clothes were ripped,
Bazwi biloko ya kotiela vino oyo katana bazwi batie mwa vino na kati.
and they put some wine in their food,
Bazwi mapa ya kokauka oyo komi bamiete yango nde batie na basaki na bango.
and they put bread that was so dried up it's starting to crumble, and they put it in their bags,
Bazwi ba an na bango babandi koya.
and they took their donkeys and started to come.
Baye kokutana na bana Israel sika bazofana na kana bango na Gilgal.
And they met with the Israelites where they were living in Gilgal.
Joshua tuni bango uti wapi bino ba oyo.
And Joshua asked them, where are you coming from?
Abi biso toza basali na bino.
He said, we are your servants.
To uti na mboka
We
musika.
have come from a faraway land.
Bozomona biso ndenge tokata ni basapatu boy.
You can see how our sandals have been cut,
Ndenge mapa na biso ekomi ya kokauka ekomi ba mieti boy.
how our bread is so dry and crumbling,
Ndenge bilamba na biso katani boy.
and how our clothes are all ripped up.
Ezali po banda tolongwa na mboka na biso kotambola ti lelo tokoma kaka te.
It's because ever since we left our land walking, we still cannot reach you.
Touti musika.
We have come from very far away,
Makambo nzambe na bino asali.
and we have heard of what your Lord has done.
Yango ba oyo bazali bampaka na biso ya mboka balobi non fo bokende bokutana na bato bosala na bango bomoko.
And that's why the elders of our land said we need to meet with you and make a treaty with you.
Yango na boya tozala na bino elongo.
And that's why, so let us be along with you.
Kala oyo ezali ba provision na biso yango ekokamata yango.
These are our provisions, we'll give it to you.
Bible lobi bana Israël.
And the Bible says the Israelites,
Bazalaki na makoki nyonso ko consulter l'Éternel.
they had all the abilities to consult the Lord.
Bazalaki na ba sacrificateur.
They had priests
Oyo bazali kolata ba mabanga oyo ezali kozala na tolo na bango.
that had rocks that were on their chest.
Ezaki 12 pierres.
It was 12 stones
Oyo nganga nzambe mokonzi azali kolata.
that the head priest would wear.
Donc soka lata ko ka bondeli nzambe.
So when they wear it and they would pray to God,
Yango ne ezali ko permettre nzambe a révéler bango oyo ezali likambo eza caché.
and that is what would allow God to reveal hidden things to them.
Malheureusement bana Israël ba consulter Yahweh te.
Unfortunately, the Israelites did not consult the Lord,
Bandimi bato ndenga ba pesa na ki ba pesa présenter ke.
and they accepted these people as they presented themselves.
Bible lobi ke bazwa ki ba provision na
The
bango.
Bible says that they took their provisions.
Ngala tobi tuna quelle sorte de provision bazwa ki?
I'm asking myself, what type of provisions did they take?
Mapo ba yena ngwese yango kauka ezokoma bangenze.
The bread that they brought with them was so dry and crumbly.
Non, ba ye kaka na ba ane.
They just came with donkeys.
Ba yena ba sapato ko kata na
They
katana.
came with shoes that were worn out.
Bilamba eza ko kata na
Their
katana.
clothes were ripped. And there were people who were tired.
Mais ce que totali na Josué 9, 10, verset 2.
But if we look at Joshua chapter 10 verse 2,
Bauti na une très grande ville.
they came from a great city
that
was not far away.
Une ville, une grande ville comme une ville royale.
They said a large city like the royal cities.
So kanisa ville o roi fandaka.
So now think of the city where the king lives,
Bomengo na yango.
the wealth of it,
Honneur na
the
yango.
honor of it,
Kitoko na yango.
the beauty of it,
Bozui na yango.
the wealth of it,
Force na yango.
the force of it,
Puissance na yango.
the power of it.
Donc sikoyo kotala bato bauti na ville lokola wana tango bazoya baza lokola ba ambassadeur ya ville wana.
So you see, when people come from those cities, they are like ambassadors.
Mais tango bakomi liboso ya Josué.
When they were in front of Joshua,
Il y a pas mariage entre bato oyo baza liboso ya Josué na ndenge ya mboka na bango.
there was no connection between the people who were standing before Joshua and the way of their land.
Pona nini?
Why?
Po bato baye na ndenge ya mayele mabe.
Because these people came deceptively,
Bana Israel basali libaku baluke elongi na Yahweh te.
and the Israelites made a mistake and they did not look for the counsel of the Lord,
Bazwi engagement bakosimba bomoi na bango te.
and they took the treaty that they would not touch their lives.
Bako détruire bango te, bakobundisa bango
They will
te.
not destroy them, they will not fight against them.
Nzambe alobaki ke bikolo nyonso wana boye bo détruire.
God told them that they must destroy all the people in that
Mais
land.
ba oyo bakomaki exempté bako kosimba bango lisusu
But
te.
these people became exempt and they could not be touched anymore.
Qu'est-ce qui se passe?
What happened?
Bakomi kohumela ensemble.
They will start living
Et
together
bakontinue kotambola.
and they continue to walk.
3 jours après,
3 days after
na kotambola,
after walking,
bana Israel bakomi na Gabaon.
the Israelites reached Gibeon.
Bato bazoba munoko moko na bango.
These people were speaking the same language as them.
Bakomprendre que oh, donc bino posa bato ya awa.
They understood that you are from here.
Mais po eli bosali biso
Then
boye.
why have you done this to us?
Bana Israel ba murmurer.
And the Israelites started to murmur.
Ba ni ko lobe pa Josué tala makambe pa
They
umemele biso.
started saying to Joshua, look what you've brought to
Siko
us.
ngweto simba bango ezate.
Now we cannot touch them.
Josué abengi bango likamuni nyo.
And Joshua called them and said, what's this?
Abito to bangaki.
He said, no, we were afraid.
Toyoka kindeni yo bosasi ba bikolo
We
mususu.
heard how you killed off all the other nations.
Biso pe to bangaki ke to sila.
And we were afraid to be finished off.
Siko to sana maboko na bino.
And now we are in your hands.
Oyo nyonso bolingi bosala biso bosala ka.
And do everything that you want to do to us.
Mais Josué azwaki engagement liboso na Yahweh.
But Joshua already had an engagement before the Lord
Bakotika bango en vie.
that they will leave them alive.
Bana Israel pe bakosala bango mabe te.
And the Israelites will not harm them.
Donc siko mo eba détruire bango ezasute.
So now they can't destroy them anymore.
Bakomi ko vivre na circonstance lokola nini.
What circumstances they're living in now?
Ennemi akomi ko vivre na bango esika
So
moko.
their enemy is living amongst them.
Baza na droit kobundisa ya bango te.
And they have no right to fight against them.
Bato oyo baza bomoko te na bango.
These people are not in agreement with
Mais baza
them.
na nguya ko exterminer bango te.
They don't have the power to exterminate them.
Baza na nguya ko longa bango te.
They have no power to win over them.
Bango ko attaquer bango
They
te.
cannot attack them.
Eza engagement ozoki liboso na
It's
Yahweh.
engagement that they took before Jehovah.
Baza obligé ba vivre na ba ennemi na bango.
And now they must live with their enemies.
Mais siko ekomi problème.
But now it's a problem.
Joshua alobi bino boza maudit.
Joshua said, you are cursed.
Boza maudit.
You're cursed.
Sikoyo eloko ni tosala bino.
So now what will we do to you?
Lokola tozwa déjà engagement toko détruire ba vie na bino te.
Because we already made a treaty that we cannot destroy your
Osala bo
lives.
bando sala
The work that you will do
de génération en génération.
from generation to
Bo bana
generation,
kokatela ka biso bakuni.
you will be woodcutters
Bo bana kotokela ka biso mai.
and you'll carry water for us,
Pona ndako na Nzambe
for the house of the Lord
et pe pona bana Israël nyonso.
and for all of Israel.
Do bana Israël nyonso makambo ko kokataka koni abupia.
And so for all of Israel, they would not go and cut wood anymore.
Ba mama Israël nyonso makambo ko toka ka mai na tongo to na poko pona misala abupia.
And all the Israelite women who would go and fetch water, they will no longer do it.
Et comme musala to pesi bino.
And now that is the job that they've given them.
Boko sa su musala musute.
You cannot do any other job.
Donc ba imposer bango ba limitation mo
So
boy.
now they put some limits for them.
Eza on dirait moi te mais ça servitude bo ba kotisi ba.
And now they've put them in a slavery.
Basenga chango te.
They did not ask for
Mais
it,
eza conséquence oyo ekutani na bango.
but it was the consequence that reached them.
Bien aimé.
Brethren,
Tango tozotanga sur Gabaon.
when we're speaking about Gibeon,
Bali kolobela biso sur la justice de Dieu.
they want to show us about the justice of God.
Bali kolobela biso sur la justice de
They
Dieu.
want to tell us about the justice of
Bien
God.
aimé Nzambe aza juste.
Brethren, God is righteous
Atambola na kata justice.
and he walks in justice.
Banani oyo balingi ba vivre justement.
Those who want to live injustly
Eza bato bazoluka bayeba mokano na ye.
are those who want to know, those who want to live in justice, they want to know his word.
Eza bato bazolinga batambola lolenge oyo yasengi.
There are people who want to walk in the way he asked them to.
Ban oyo agadi baon baye.
the ones of Gibeon came,
mais batamboli na justice te.
but they did not walk in justice.
Batamboli na ruse.
They walked in
Mayele mabe na malice.
with malice,
Et ndenge oyo bayaki,
and the way they came,
bayete comme représentation ya mboka na bango.
they did not come as a representation of their nation.
Na mboka kombo Jericho,
In the land called
il y
Jericho,
avait une femme
there was a woman
oyo azaki prostituée.
who was promiscuous,
Mwasi oyo andimelaki nzambe ya bana
and
Israël.
this woman believed in the God of Israel.
Andimelaki nzambe ya bana
He
Israël.
believed in the God of Israel,
Badetruisaki ete.
and they did not destroy her.
Ye na famille na ye.
Her and her family,
Basimbaki bango te.
they were not touched.
Basimbaki bango
They
te.
were not touched.
Pona nini?
Why?
Po bandimelaki nzambe ya Israël.
Because they believed in the God of Israel.
Bazwaki décision ya kuabandone banzambe na bango.
They made the decision to abandon their gods.
Du moins Rahab ye moko.
And so Rahab herself,
Kondima oyo azalaki na yango.
and the faith that she has,
Afungolaki motema pona kobatela ba espion oyo bazalaki menacé.
she opened her heart up to protect these spies that were being threatened.
Basalaki na une alliance.
And they made a treaty with her.
Alliance wana efungolelaki meme porte akota tina bokitani na Yesu Masia.
And that treaty opened up a door to her to join the genealogy of Jesus.
Donc soki ba Gabaonite,
And so if the Gibeonites,
soki ba yaki,
if they came,
balobi totiki ba nzambe na
they
biso.
said that we've left our gods,
Totiki ba nzela na
we've
biso.
left our old ways,
Me topesi vi na biso na maboko na
we
nzambe.
give our life to the hands of God,
Tondimeli nzambe na
we
bino.
believe in your
Bana
God,
Israël bakaba détruire bango te.
they would not have destroyed the Israelites.
Parce que bakoma bakonga bakoma na bomoko.
Because they would have had a treaty.
Bomoko
with
ezali
them.
nini ezali baza na nzambe bobele moko.
And what was that unity? It would be because they had that one God.
Sikoyo bango
And so they
balingi ko abandonner banzambe na bango
did
te.
not want to abandon their gods.
Balingi ko abandonner misala na
They
bango
did
te.
not want to abandon their work.
Me balingi te o ezali Israël ezwa ko espace to nzambe Israël azwa espace wana.
But they do not want that the God of Israel to take that space.
Parce que ngatalisa biso nini?
What is it showing us?
Eza exemple oyo pe lokola Jean-Baptiste ayekokutana na yango.
It's like the example that John the Baptist met with.
Azo baptiser
He's baptizing,
bato ebele bazoya.
and many people are coming.
Me ba pharisien pe bayaki.
The Pharisees came as well,
Ba scribe pe bayaki.
and the scribes came as well.
Quand Jean-Baptiste atali
And
bango.
when John the Baptist looked at them,
Alobi na bango bino boza ba race de
said,
serpent.
"You are the nation of the serpents.
Nana nga lakisi bino boki makata ya nzambe ezali koya.
Who showed you to run away from the anger of God that is coming?
Pour porter ba fruit digne de la repentance.
Bear fruits of repentance."
Mais oui le bilate kaka bino moke tozabana ya Abraham.
Do not just say to yourselves that we are children of Abraham.
Parce que na mabanga oyo nzambe pa koko jalisa bana pana pona Abraham.
Because from these rocks, God can make children for Abraham.
Bien me ba otalisa biso ya bato mo bazokima la colère.
Reverend, that shows us that there are people who are running away from anger,
Mais balingi ko abandonner banzela na bango ya kala.
but they do not want to abandon their old ways.
C'est ça les Gabaonites.
Those are the Gibeonites.
Tozolobela sur le sacrifice depuis un certain temps.
We are speaking of sacrifice at a certain time.
Bien nommé mutu akoki koyeba koluka nzambe te soki ayebi nanu ko abandonner te oyo ya liboso ya mutu ya pona ye.
Brethren, people cannot know to to seek God if they do not know to abandon what was their old ways.
Apôtre Paul azoloba ce qui était pour moi comme un gain.
Apostle Paul is saying, what was for me a gain,
Ko bando na yebi Yesu Masia.
ever since I knew Jesus Christ,
Na mona comme une perte.
it has become a waste, a loss.
Et comme une perte.
It's become a loss.
Na mona lokola poto poto.
I see it as mud.
Ko bando nga na gagner Jésus.
Ever since I've gained Jesus,
Ko bando nga na kutani na Jésus.
ever since I've met with Jesus,
Ba Gabaonite balingi ba préserver ville royale na
the
bango.
Gibeonites want to preserve their royal city.
Batiki bomengo na bango.
They left their wealth.
Batiki nzambe na bango azela bango
They
kuna.
left their God to wait for them.
No batiki basi na bango
They
kuna.
left their wives.
Batiki bana na bango
They left
kuna.
their children.
Bango baye.
And they came.
Batiki oyo ezalaki nkembo na bango.
And they left their glory.
Me bazoya comme bato apasi.
But they were coming as people who were in suffering.
Lokola bato bauti musika.
As if people who came from far away.
Lokola bato baza sune loko te.
As if people who had nothing left.
Nzoka ne bauti ka pembeni.
But it turns out they were coming from nearby.
Gloire na bango eza pembeni.
Their glory is nearby.
Banzambe na bango baza
Their
pembeni.
gods are nearby.
Basi na bango
Gods are nearby.
Bambo mbongo na bango eza
Their
pembeni.
money is nearby.
Bana na bango eza pembeni.
Their children are nearby.
Nkembo na bango eza musika te eza pembeni.
And their glory is not far away, it's nearby.
Nzambe lokola bato apasi.
But they came to God as if they were suffering.
Bien nommé, c'est ça aussi nkola so interpeller sur le
Brethren,
lot.
that is what God is showing us today.
Comment est-ce que les gens se présentent devant Dieu?
How do people present themselves before God?
Bato bazoya liboso na Nzambe nkolo nazobela bikisa ngai.
People come before God and say, Lord, I am sick, please heal me.
Mais atiki nkembo na ye moko boye pembeni.
But they left their certain glory nearby.
Mokili oyo aza kuadore atango pembeni eza musika
The
te.
world that they are worshipping is not far away, they've left it nearby.
Baposa ya nzoto oyo ezali kokangama na azango eza musika te eza
The
pembeni.
fleshly desires are not far away, it's nearby.
Bien nommé, mbongo ya sa nango nkembo ya sa nango alingi koya nango liboso ya nkolo te atika ngo musika te eza pembeni.
The money and the glory that they have, they do not want to bring it to the Lord, so they've left it nearby.
Bato bazoya na bilamba kopasuka.
People are coming with ripped clothes,
Basapato ekatana.
with their sandals, worn out
Eli
sandals.
kosalisa biso nini?
What does it show us?
Non, bato bazoya liboso ya Nzambe c'est comme si Nzambe asala penze eloko te na vie na bango.
People are coming before God as if God has never done anything for them in
Non,
their
bato
life.
baya kolukaka Nzambe.
People come to seek God,
Babandaka na prière et supplication.
and they always start with a prayer of supplication.
Bakoti na koimplore Nzambe.
They come and start to implore God,
Babakisi balarme na ba grand cri.
and they add their tears and great cries,
Jamais action de grâce ezalaka.
but there's never a thanksgiving.
Nzambe tata merci opesi nga la lamuki lelo jamais ezalaka te.
Look, Father, Lord, thank you have allowed me to wake up today. It's never there.
Ezaka lelo klima eza malamu te.
It's always, today the weather's not nice.
Mikolo penza misala eza mabe.
These days the people have wicked ways.
Mikolo gouvernement ezotambola malamu te.
These days the government's not going right.
Mikolo mwasi openza azopesa nga kanda.
These days this woman is making me really angry.
Mobali openza posa na die mbika ye.
I just want to hang this man.
Bano bazoswisa nga mutu.
These children are giving me headaches.
Donc oyo mutu asa ko se présenter nango liboso ya Nzambe eza bobele bakolela lela.
So what people present before God is always their cries.
Wapi la gloire ya ville royale pa wapi Nzambe apose.
Where is the glory of the real city where God has put you?
Non, soki mutu aza na kati ya mokili.
If people are in the world,
Na yebi ba dansa mikolo te.
I don't know the dances of these days,
Metango biso tozalaka.
but when I was still there,
Ezaka ba zekete.
there was a dance called Zekete Zekete.
Premier épisode.
The first episode,
Deuxième
the
épisode.
second episode,
Kanga bango.
and catch them.
Soki babwaki kanga bango.
If they throw catch them,
Bango be
and then you say, yeah,
Yango bonio. Bana poto. Yango bonio. So what's going on?
what's going on?
Tokolia te.
We will not eat.
Wana bakiri bazobwaka.
That's the price that they're throwing out.
Oka pesa mbongo, pesa.
Give the money.
Pesa mbongo, pesa.
Give the money.
Wana eza sikoyo ambiance bato baza nao.
So that is the fun that people are in.
Bato milai lokola babiso ba oyo.
So tall people like us,
Wana tutu tokomi mikuse.
we've already become short.
Tokomi mikuse
Really
divisé par
short.
trois.
We've divided by 3.
Tokomi mikuse na katapis.
Come 3 times shorter in the dance place.
Wana bazoyemba Tatu François koti na piste.
And then Francis comes in.
Tatu François sa diamantaire.
Tattoo Francois,
Ateka diamant.
he sends his father Francois,
Trade na eza ateka ba
and he
diamond.
sells diamonds,
Akota alata coupe ya pembe.
and he wears his white shorts,
Alati polo ya pembe.
and he wears his white polo shirt,
Alati muscarpe ya pembe.
and he wears white shoes,
Alati chaussette ya
he
pembe.
wears white socks,
Aza na câble ya munene ya or.
and he has a great gold chain.
Baba uri kwemba Tatu François.
And then he starts singing Tattoo Francois. Father Francois.
Batu nyonso bayebi Tatu François.
And everyone knows who Father Francois
Batu
is.
nyonso batelemi.
And everyone stands up.
Bazwi maputa.
They take their
Balingi na
cloths
luketo.
and they put it around their waist.
Bazwi oya surprise bakangaka na mutu.
And they took the another one that they put on their head.
Balingi na luketo ya Tatu François.
And then they put it on the waist of Father Francois.
Tatu François.
And then they start chanting for him.
Baloniwemba Tatu François.
They start singing Father Francois.
Mabanga nyonso eza na maboko na ye.
And all the rocks are in his hand.
Badiama nyonso na maboko na
All the
ye.
diamonds are in his hand.
Bomengo nyonso ya mboka eza na
The
maboko na
whole
ye.
wealth of the land is in his hands.
Aza mwana ya songolo.
He is the son of so-and-so.
Mama na ye pakala.
His mother is so-and-so.
Bazoyemba Tatu
And they're
François.
singing Father Francois.
Tatu François tango mutema esepele.
And when Father Francois, when his heart was pleased,
Asengi perse elanda ye na piste.
and he asked for his wallet to follow him to the dance place.
Tango kufungula
And
yango.
when he will open it,
No, azolesa bato.
he's feeding people.
Bato bazolia me mbongo oyo bazolia eza mbongo ya Amerika me azolesa bango na kati Afrika.
And the currency that he's given them is American dollars, but he's given them in Africa. And he's throwing it out.
He's
Throwing it out. Throwing it out. He's throwing it out.
C'est ça les Gabaonites.
Those are the Gibeonites.
Même quand la se présenter devant Dieu.
The day that they come to present themselves before God, before God, their sandals are torn. They are torn. And their clothes are ripped. And their bread is dried up. And it's turning into crumbs. And the Lord is asking the Israelites, why did you not consult me? And what allowed them to discover a walk of 3 days. 3 days is showing us the cross. The sacrifice of the cross. And God is telling Mary through Hannah, when they were presenting their child, they said a sword will go through your heart so that the thoughts of many can be unveiled. It is showing us the cross where the veil was torn. And the revelation has become available for those who work for God. Brethren,
Gabaon,
Gibeon
eza elembo ya batu oyo nzambe a visita bango me balingi ko abandonner le monde te.
It's a symbol of people that God has visited them, but they do not want to abandon the world. They want God to protect them, God to heal them, God to bless them, God to open doors for them, so God can let rains of blessings fall upon them. But before God, they cannot bring the glory of the royal city that they have. God told the Israelites through Moses, tell Pharaoh to let my people go, so that they can give me the offering in the desert. And he told them, you will not just leave as men, your wives and your children. And it will not end there. Your cattle, your herds, and you will not just stop there. Everyone should go to their neighbors and ask for valuable items. To ask for gold, it will be given to them. When the Israelites were leaving, they were leaving with what belonged to them. And they were leaving with the gifts that were given to them as a symbol of the glory of Egypt. And when they needed to build the tabernacle in the desert, what needed to go in there? It was like it was gold in the most holy place. Where did it come from? Where did it come from? It was the symbol of the glory of Egypt, where they came from. The gifts from their neighbors. They needed to be nearby so that they can give the offering to God. They had to leave with their herds and their cattle. They had to be blessed, not just the men, but the women and the children. And that's where they all had to come as they were. Once God visits you, present yourself before God the way He is visiting you. You used to be single, and you give to God, you give one to God, and God blesses you. And now you're married, but you still bless God with one. And God has blessed you with children, you still always give Him one. God has multiplied your children, you always give Him one. God has changed your social situation, God has blessed you with money, always give Him one. Just one. Just one. Not one day You stand and say no.
osali mpe mingi
You have done lots for me.
na ye sikoyo comme ambassadeur ya bolamu na yo
So now I have come as an ambassador of your goodness.
na yo telema liboso na yo comme un ambassadeur ya bolamu na yo
I am standing before you as an ambassador of your goodness.
nango na ye kosala alliance elongo na yo
That's why I've come to make a covenant with you.
bato ebele
Many people,
ntango aza na jeune
when they are still young,
alingi kosala nzambe
they
te
do not want to work for God.
makambo kosambelesa makambo bamibange
He said, oh, things of praying is for elderly
yango so
people.
okende baeglise
That's why if you go to church,
mingi na bakuwa ebele
the majority of them,
okutaka bamibange
you'll see the elderly people,
bamemaka bana mike
and they bring the really young
me
children.
bao baza nzoto makasi
Those who are strong,
oyo bazoproduire dans la communauté
those who are producing in the community,
oyo bazodirige la communauté
those who are leading the communities,
baza wana te
they are not there.
baotinda bato moko fatigué de vivre
They're sending people who are really tired to
bokende kosambelaka mpo
go
na
and
biso
pray for us.
donc communauté
So the community
est comme représentée par des vieillards et les tout petits
is represented by the very elderly and the very young.
et pourtant tongo
But early in the morning,
oyo bakendekende shift ya tongo
those who go to the shifts out in the morning
na baovertime ya tongo
and the overtimes in the morning
na baovertime ya butu
and the overtimes at night,
batelema liboso ya nzambe te
they will not stand before
et pour
God.
ça bango baza force oyo eza kofaire rouler communauté
But they are the force that is pushing forward the
mbongo
community.
eza na maboko na
The
bango
money is in their hands.
mayele eza na
The
maboko na bango
intelligence is in their hands.
munoko kapasité ya koloba eza na maboko na
The
bango
ability to speak is in their hands.
bango nde baza na makasi ya kotelema aussi mpo na koloba nkolo zwage vigueur na biso toservir yo
They were the ones who should stand and say, Lord, take our vigor and we will serve you.
pourquoi est-ce que vigueur na biso fo eservir ka mpo na bakompagnie koservir nzambe te
Why must our vigor only serve companies but not God?
pourquoi est-ce que beauté na biso eko koservir nzambe te ka fo eservir mokili
Why must our beauty not serve God but it must serve the world?
pourquoi est-ce que mingongo na biso eko kokumisa nzambe te il faut kaka eservir mokili
Why must our voices not serve God but it must just worship the world?
pourquoi est-ce que nzambe apambolinga na mbongo na ngai eko koservir eko koganga liboso ya nzambe te il faut kaka eganga na kati ya mokili
God has blessed me with money, but my money cannot serve God. It has to cry out in the world.
bien aimé kanisa bolamu na nzambe
Brethren, think of the goodness of God.
kanisa visitation ya nzambe
Think of the visitation
nzambe
of God.
azosenga yo d'abord oyo eza na maboko na yo te
God is asking you for something God is not asking you for something that is not in your hand.
Dieu te demande plus que cela
God is asking you of something more.
ton cœur
Your heart,
vie na yo
your life
efa na kati ya motema na yo
is in your heart.
nzambe azosenga motema na yo
God is asking for your heart.
motema na yo
Your heart,
yango nde yo mobimba
that is the whole of you.
makanisi na yo eza na kati ya motema na
Your
yo
thoughts are in your heart.
makambo oyo ozosala euti na motema na yo
Everything that you do is coming from your heart.
c'est de l'abondance du cœur que la bouche parle
It is the abundance of vigor that the mouth speaks.
nzambe aza nzambe ya justice
God is a God of justice.
alingi ntango ozotelema liboso na ye
He wants when you are standing before Him
zala juste ndeko
to be righteous.
ndeko na nga mokolo oyo ozobela
But in the day that you are sick,
okobuna nzambe esunga nga
you're saying, oh God, help me.
me mokolo oza nzoto
The
makasi
day that you are strong,
pourquoi ne pas danser pour ton Dieu
why can you not dance for your God?
pourquoi ne pas te présenter devant ton Dieu
Why can you not present yourself before your God?
nayambi bapaya
I have visitors.
yango naolambela bango
That's why I'm cooking for
me
them.
mokolo kobela
But the day that you'll be sick,
mopaya te mutakoya
it's not the visitors that will come.
ozela nzambe atelemisa baoyo ayeba ya koprie mpo na
But you're waiting for God to lift those who are of His and
yo
to
oyo
go pray
olingi
for you.
basala mpo na yo
What you want for, others to do for
sala mpe
you,
mpo na bato
do
mosusu
it for other people.
cela veut dire que bato oyo basengeli bazala nzoto makasi un jour bakende koprie mpo na bato mosusu ezala yo
That means those who must have those who must be strong to one day pray for others. It must be you.
nzambe azozela yo
God is waiting for you
ozala représentation ya ville royale na yo
to be a representative of your royal city.
ton
Your
cœur
heart
ezala na nzambe mosusu to otiki kuna
must not have another God that you've left nearby.
naobetela bino lisolo
I want to tell you a story.
ezali kala
It was a long time ago
na ntango mindele bazokitana nano na kati ya afrika
when there was still the white people in Africa,
bamissionnaire bakomi lisolo oyo
and the missionaries wrote this story.
ezalaki deux villages
There were two villages.
non ezalaki na deux royaumes ezali koyokana te
There were two kingdoms that were not getting along.
bazokobunda bazowela mabele
They used to fight and they used to argue over the land.
bazowela bokonzi
They were arguing over who was king.
alors bavillage ekomaki bitumba les uns les autres
So villages had battles between each other.
e mokolo mosusu bitumba lokola eyaki makasi
And one day, because the battle was so strong,
roi moko ya village moko abengisi baoyo ya ye
the king of a village called those who belonged to him,
alobi boye
and he said,
bitumba eza makasi
the battle is strong,
bayini na biso
our enemies,
bakomi na ba flesh moko oyo soki ba beti yo ngo okobika te.
they have arrows that if they shoot you with it, you will not survive.
Pota oyo kozwa okobika nango te.
The wound that you will get, you will not survive.
Tozalo na kisi te oyo toyo tokozwa pona kopakola na bapota wana.
And we do not have medicine that we apply on those wounds.
Yango wana lokola bazoluka biso.
That's why, because they are looking for us,
baluka mabele na biso.
they are looking for our land.
Malamu totika mabele oyo.
It's best for us to leave this land
Ngombe nyonso détruire.
and destroy all the cattle,
Détruire ba meme nyonso.
destroy all the herds,
Soso nyonso.
all the chickens,
Ngulu nyonso.
all the pigs,
Ndako ya yo tumba yango.
and burn your house down.
Biloko nyonso yo zala ngotana kati ndako tumba yango.
Everything that you own, put it in your house and
Parce
burn
que
it
faut
down.
tokima.
Because we must run.
Toza besoin ba kilo te.
We do not need a heavy item.
Toza besoin mutazala makasi pona ko soutenir ba ba kozala faible.
We need people to be strong so they can support those who are weak.
Bayokani bongo.
And so they agreed.
Batumbi.
They burnt it down.
Bomengo nyonso batela bandako batumbi yango.
They put all their wealth in their houses and burnt it down.
Ba détruire bomengo na bango.
They destroyed their wealth.
Bazikisi nyonso bakwa
They
kozikisa.
burnt down all that they can burn down.
Siko esengele bakima.
And so now they needed to run.
Mais zena mutu moko.
But there was one person,
Ya sengele na mbwa naye.
he had his dog.
Mbwa naye alingaki mingi.
And his dog loved him very
Ye pa
much.
alingaki mbwa ne mingi.
And he loved his dog a lot.
Village mobimba babebe ke pona lisola mbwa wana.
And the whole village knew the story of that dog.
Bolingo ya mbwa wana na nkolo na ye.
The love of that dog and its owner.
Ezalaki koyeba ma ezali kolobama.
It was known and everyone speaks about
Siko te
it.
ba détruire
So
nyonso.
now when they destroyed everything,
Tata tali mbwa na ye.
this man looked at his dog.
Alobi ah!
He said, oh,
Hapo mayo mbwa.
to kill my dog,
Hapo mayo.
kill my dog.
Ah, nakokate.
He said, I can't do it.
Nakokate.
I can't do it.
Aka détruire bangombe.
He went and destroyed his cattle.
Atali mbwa albina
He looked at
okokate.
his dog and said, I
A
can't do
détruire
it.
basoso.
He destroyed his chickens.
Atali mbwa albina
He looked
okokate.
at his dog and said, I can't do it.
Azwi ndako atumbi yango.
He took his house and burnt it
Atali mbwa
down.
albina
He
okokate.
looked at his dog and said, no, I can't do
Azwi
it.
bomengo nyonso akilo ngati kuna tumbi moto.
He took all his wealth, put it there and set it alight.
Atali mbwa albina okokate.
And he looked at his dog and said, no, I can't do it.
Nakokate.
I can't do it.
Na butu wana ya bimi.
And late at night, he left.
Abimi.
He left.
Akena mwa mupanzi.
He went to the side
Azwi singa.
and he took a string, a rope,
Atie pembeni ya kingo ya mbwa.
and he put it near the neck of the dog.
Aya kangi na nzete.
And he put it on the tree.
Tango babeti clairon batu nyonso bakimi.
And when they sounded the trumpet, everyone ran.
Batu nyonso bakimi.
Everyone ran.
Bakimi.
They ran.
Bakimi.
They ran.
Bakesi ko musika batamboli bakeo batama.
They went far, far, far away and they went to hide.
Babimi na mukili na bango bakeo batama.
They left their land and went to hide.
Sikoto ba enemi na bango
So
bakoti.
when the enemies came in
Na ba flesh na bango empoisonné.
with their poisoned arrows,
Na armée na bango ya makasi.
with their strong army,
Bakuti bandako nyonso bazikisa.
they saw all the houses were burnt down.
Bangombe nyonso bakata bango mitu bakoya.
All the cattle were killed.
Basoso nyonso babomi.
All the chickens were killed.
Bilanga nyonso batumbi.
All the fields were burnt down.
Baye batali ba donc eza musala kubandela zero.
He said it's just a job of starting over again.
Biloko toyelaki yango ndeti.
These are the things that we came for.
Toyaki potozwa biloko na
We
bango.
came to take their things.
Toye potozwa oyo bango babukaki pe batiaki
We
pembeni.
came to take what they reaped and put aside.
Toyozwa bambongo na bango.
We came to take their money.
Toyozwa bangombe na
We came
bango.
to take their cattle,
Basoso na bango.
their chickens,
Siko biso tobanda sokusala misala ya bilango oyo.
and for us to start cultivating this ground again.
Mabele na bango toyebi yango ezaka mabele mo ezaka matata po ebota.
We know that the land is very difficult to bear fruit,
Alors tina moko eza te.
so there's no use.
Tokende na biso.
Let's just go.
Tango bazokende.
When they were going,
Nzela bazokende.
the way they were going,
Nzela bazokende.
the way they were going,
Bayoka kuna wa.
they just heard a dog barking.
Oh,
Oh,
mwa moko atikali.
there's a dog left.
Mwa atikali yao.
The dog was left here.
Feza la eshapaki.
That means that it escaped
Tango bazoboma boma bango.
when they were killing them.
Bake baluka mbwane fiske bazonga tana mbwa.
So they went to take the dog so they can at least go back with the dog.
Mele kamba kukamba bakuti mbwa bakanga ina singa na nzete.
But they, what was shocking, they saw that the dog was attached to a tree.
Yo comprendre que no mutu moko mta kukanga na nzete.
So they understood that someone left that dog at the tree.
Babito kata na msinga oyo.
So let us cut this rope
Poto yeba eloko nini oyo ezali yao.
so we can know what's here.
Bakati sika.
They cut the rope
Mwake.
and the dog started
Bambi
running.
simambua.
And so they started following the dog. The dog
Bambi
running
bazolanda
and
mbwa.
they were following the dog.
Mwake.
The dog was running
Bazolanda
and they were
mbwa.
following the dog.
Mwake.
The dog was running and they
Bazotambola,
were following the
mbwa
dog.
azokende kaka.
And the dog was still
Toyebi ke
going.
mbwa aza makasi mpona koyeba solo ya bato.
We know that dogs are very strong in knowing the scent of people.
Azoyeba esikali nkolo na ye likanaki.
So he knows where his owner was going through.
Azolanda.
And he was following.
Azolanda.
He was following.
Azolanda.
He was following.
Batamboli.
They walked and walked and walked.
Esika oyo mboka mobekene ko batama na kati ya mabulu wana batimola.
And where the whole town was hiding in those the holes
Eska o ba bazwaki kimia.
where they found peace,
Ata bazolela o babungisi.
even if they were crying over what they had lost,
Mais du moins vina bango ezaki so.
but at least their lives were spared.
Ba kaka kuna woo 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 woo.
All they could hear was the dog.
Ah Milou.
Oh, Milo.
Na pese ka kombo na Milou.
Let's name him Milo.
Milou azalia.
And Milo is here.
Milou kufa kite.
Milo did not die.
Ba sepeli ba moni Milou.
And so they were pleased to see Milo.
Nkono na sepeli moni Milou.
And so the owner was pleased to see Milo.
Mais azo bazo betele sima Milou na nazoya.
But they did not know who was behind Milo.
Armée mobimba na batu ba flèche empoisonnée.
And so the whole army with poisoned arrows.
Milou alandi ba ona katele bulu.
And Milo followed them into the pit.
Ba biso.
And they were kissing the dog.
Ba flèche empoisonnée.
Poisoned arrows.
Ba sila kiwa.
And they were finished there.
Ba missionnaire ba komi lisolo.
And the missionaries wrote that story.
Bwana koteya biso ni.
What does it teach us?
Oyo natiki na ville royale kuna.
What I left in the royal city,
Un jour olanda ngai.
one day it will follow me.
Un jour olanda ngai.
One day it will follow me.
Un jour olanda ngai.
One day it will follow me.
Yango na Josué tanga moni yango.
That's why when Joshua saw it,
Amoni yango après 3 jours ya marche.
he saw it after 3 days of walking.
Za modi.
You're cursed.
Malédiction ya likolo na bino.
The curse is upon you
Po bokotisi biso na kati ya libunga.
because you have brought us into a mistake.
Bien-aimé,
Brethren,
la foi
faith
ezali kozala agréable liboso ya Nzambe.
is being agreeable before God.
Soki okoti na kati ya motema na yo olobi nkolo na ye epai na yo naza mosumu.
If you go into your heart and say, Lord, I come to you, I'm a sinner.
Nauti na ville oyo naza mosumu.
I've come from this city, I'm a sinner.
Naza ambassadeur ya babisengo ya mokili.
I am an ambassador of the pleasures of the world.
Naza ambassadeur ya orgueil ya mokili.
I am an ambassador of the pride of this world.
Naza ambassadeur ya misala mabe ya mokili.
I am the ambassador of the wicked works of this world.
Mais nandimi na sacrifier cette vie là.
But I agreed to sacrifice that life.
Nalingi nazwa yo.
And I want to take you
Ozala Nzambe na ngai.
to be my God.
Ofungoli motema na yo.
And you open your heart.
Bien-aimé Nzambe akozala Nzambe na yo.
Brethren, God will be your God.
Yango ni Rahab asalaki.
And that's what Rahab did.
Alobaki ete oyo ezali bomengo ya Jericho abupia na tiki.
Said, I will leave the wealth of Jericho.
Na tiki oyo ezali vie nazali komene na Jericho esila na.
I leave the life that I was leading in Jericho.
Naponi vie ya Israel.
And I will follow the life of Israel.
Naponi Nzambe ya Israel.
I've chosen the God of Israel.
Bible dit azaki mwasi ya ndumba.
And the Bible tells us that she was a promiscuous woman.
Mais longtemps, des milliers d'années après.
But thousands of years after,
Soko tali na Matthieu 2.
if you look in Matthew chapter 2,
Batala bakoko ya Yesu.
when they look at the ancestors of Jesus,
O mona Rahab.
you'll see Rahab.
Cela veut dire qu'à soit qui grâce à Bobala, c'est pas na Israël.
That means that she had the grace to marry in the Israelites.
Nzamba tika kiete.
And God did not leave her.
Nzamba pesi ye akoti na kati na bakoko ya batu oyo baboti Yesu na nzoto.
And she was in the ancestors of Jesus.
Ndeko na Nzamba linga ayebisa biso nini?
And what does God want to tell us?
1.
1,
Zala représentant ya bolamu na ye ndenge oyo akutana liboso na ye. Zala na liboso na ye comme représentant ya bolamu na ye.
stand before him as a representative of his goodness.
Koyate lokola mutu moko oyo Nzamba visita yo te.
Do not just come as someone that God has never visited you.
Vina yo kobomba ba témoignage te.
In your life, do not hide those testimonies.
Kaka l'église te.
Not just in church,
Mais liboso ya batu na mokili.
but in front of people of this world.
Ete bomona ngai bo.
As the way you see me,
Donc so ba comprendre makamba lo sambo te.
maybe you're not understanding things of prayer. I pray
Pona yebi nani onga na sambe.
because I know who I pray to.
Ayebe sikana swaki nga.
I know where he took me from,
Ayebe pa wapo ya komisinga.
and I know where he has taken
Tala
me.
makamzamba salaki.
Look at what God has done.
Tala makamzamba salaki.
Look at what God has done.
Yango na ndi Nzamba uzela pona ngai na yo.
And that is what God is waiting from you and I.
Nzamba visite yo.
God has visited you
Bimana bolamu oyo asali na vi na yo.
and come out of the goodness that he has done for you.
Yako pesa Nzambe merci.
To give God thanks.
Yango na Gabaon.
And that's what in Gibeon,
Un jour bitumbe yaki.
one day there was a battle.
Tango bitumbe
And when
ye.
the battle came,
Bana Gabaon basengi pa ya Josué.
the Gibeonites asked of Joshua
Na Josué dit ici solo na zoloba.
in Joshua chapter 10,
Babia ko sunga biso.
come help us.
Bali ko attaquer biso.
They want to attack us.
Bana ba ko attaquer bango.
Who was attacking them?
Roi Jérusalem.
The king of Jerusalem.
L'air wana nanu bana Israël bakangi Jérusalem te.
At that time, the Israelites were not in Jerusalem yet.
Mokonzi ya Jérusalem comme ezaka Adoni Tzedek.
And in the king of Jerusalem, his name was Adonizedek.
Asengi barua mususu baya ko spesa ye maboko makasi bakende ko attaquer Gabaon.
And he asked all the kings to help him so they can attack Gibeon.
Pona nini?
Why?
Po Gabaon asali atiki bango akomi na ye na kaya bana Israël.
Because the Gibeonites have left them and gone to join the Israelites.
Yamande lisolo milu nazolo.
That is the story of Milo that I was telling you about.
Soko za un pied dehors.
If you are 1 foot in, 1 foot out,
Un jour ba ko selisonoki.
one day they'll finish you quickly.
Ba lo binenga yaka kende kinenga ya mkomsa ori ska ke akeli bela to
Let's say
bungisi.
the way that they come in and out, one day they will go out and they will never come back in.
Ako trahir biso.
They'll betray us.
Madame Tosi lise kali
So
bela
it's best
libela.
for us to finish them now.
Ba tu oyo ba lo bifoto attaquer Gabaon.
People who said that we must attack Gibeon,
Ba tiki biso.
they left us here.
Biso to salaka.
We are always here.
Ba ke ko yamba ba payo ba ba kotia.
And they went to receive the foreigners who
Bo
have
pesa
joined
mako
here
kutoka ni kwa attaquer
to
ba.
help us so we can attack them.
E ba watu Gabaon.
And the Gibeonites,
Ba kiba to makasi me ba lo bi tumbo ile kibiso.
there were people who were strong, but they said that this is beyond us.
Ba lo bi Josué sunga biso basali na yo.
I said, Joshua, help us, your servants.
Josué awutaki na Gilgal na basoda na.
And Joshua went from Gilgal with his soldiers,
Ba ko bunda na mboka kombo Gabaon.
and they went to fight in Gibeon.
Nde bitumbe makasi.
And when the battle was getting strong,
Nde ska Josué asambeli.
and that is when Joshua prayed,
Alobi mo itelema.
and he said, son, stand.
Na likolo ya Gabaon mo itelema.
In above Gilgal, the sun stand.
Likolo Gabaon.
Above Gibeon,
Ah, telema.
stop.
Ah, yo sanza.
And the moon
Na ngomba ya Ajalon tikala wana.
and the mountain of Ajalon stay there.
Ça veut dire que mo etikali ko telema.
And that means that the sun has stopped.
À peu près pendant une journée.
So from a day,
Qu'est-ce qui se passe? Josué azozwa vengeance likolo ya ba oyo batakaki Gabaon.
and so Joshua was taking vengeance over those who attacked Gibeon.
Ba ngolo bana bisoni.
What does that mean?
La justice.
Justice.
Ozwaki serment kuna.
You took
Ozwaki engagement.
you took a treaty there,
Kokisa.
accomplish it.
Josué alobaki na kotalaka na bino alliance na sali na kobundaka pe po na bino. Babengi akei.
And Joshua said that the covenant that I'm making with you, I will fight with you. So they called him and he went.
Dieu est un Dieu de la justice.
God is a God of justice.
Bien aimé, soko zwi engagement faut kokisa yango.
Brethren, if you make an engagement, you must accomplish it.
Chérie, je t'aime, kokisa yango.
You say, oh, I love you, but you must accomplish it.
Nga na kobala yo kokisa
I will
yango.
marry you, so accomplish it.
Non, na kosala bo sala yango.
I will do this, so do it.
Engagement Josué
The
azwaki.
engagement that Joshua took on,
Balebe kotika biso to tosala pasi
he
yao.
said, do not leave us, we're in pain.
Ya kobundela biso.
Come and fight for
Josué
us.
telemaka kenda kobunda.
And Joshua stood up and went to fight.
Bien aimé,
Brethren,
Gabaon c'est la justice.
Gibeon is justice.
Tant bazo dans la justice,
When they're telling us justice,
c'est tout un sacrifice devant Dieu.
it's a sacrifice before God.
Cause la juste.
Being righteous,
Moi je suis azobela.
this woman was sick.
Azasu na nzoto te.
She does not have her body
Mais na
anymore,
kozala kana yo.
but I'll still be with you.
Mobali azasu na mbongo te.
This man doesn't have money anymore.
Banda komi kobela bela ngani fona sala nyonso.
Ever since he started being sick, I must do everything.
Na ozaka
But
na.
I will still be with
Nazwaki
you.
engagement.
I made an
Na
engagement.
ozala nayo.
I will be with you.
Nzambe azalaka na losambo oyo kosala esika wana.
God is there in the prayer that you will do.
Mo itelema.
Sun stand still,
Mo itelemaki.
and the sun stood still.
Pona nini?
Why?
Nzamba justice.
Because God is a God of justice.
Engagement na yo.
Your engagements,
Nzambe azala na besoin akokokisaka yango.
God wants you to accomplish it.
Ndenge oyo ezalamaki na Gabaon.
The way God came to Gibeon,
Ndenge mo etelemaki.
the way that the sun stood still,
Etikala kosalema so te Bible elobi.
it never happened again.
Esalema so te.
It never happened again.
E na Gabaon.
And in Gibeon,
Ntango oyo ye Salomo azwi bokonzi.
when Solomon went on the throne,
Ayo telema liboso na Nzambe.
he stood before God.
Alobi Nzambe.
He said, God,
Omonisi tata na nga bolamu ebele.
you have shown my father many goodness.
Tata na nga zwi bolamu ebele.
My father has seen many goodness.
Obateli
You
ye.
have protected
Opese
him.
bokonzi ezaki na Saul.
You gave him the kingdom that was from Saul.
Bitumba ebele obateli ye.
You protected him in lots of battles.
Opesi ye nkembo.
You gave him glory.
Opesi ye kimia.
You gave him peace.
E na nzela na ye ngai
And
nabotami.
through him I was born.
Omonisi nga bolamu
You
ebele.
showed me lots of goodness.
Nazaki na bayaya ebele.
I had many elder siblings
Oyo babotami ndenge esengelaki.
who were born the way that they should have.
Me ngai Salomo.
But I, Solomon,
Tala ndenge na yele.
look how I come before
Me
you.
osepeli nga nakoma roi ya Israel.
But you are pleased for me to become the king of Israel.
Bible ezobaki Salomo atelemaki.
And the Bible tells us that Solomon stood
Alongwe
up.
na Jerusalem.
He left Jerusalem
Aye na Gabaon.
and he came to Gibeon.
Nini ezalaki na Gabaon?
What was in Gibeon?
Tabernacle ezalaki nanu na Gabaon.
The tabernacle was still in Gibeon.
Etumbelo ezalaki nanu na
The
Gabaon.
altar was still in Gibeon.
sanduku ya mibeko pardon parce que David asa memaki on a Jérusalem.
David already took the ark to Jerusalem.
Mais oyo ezalaki etumbelo ezalaki na Gabaon.
But what was the altar was still in Gibeon.
Salomon ake na Gabaon.
Solomon went to Gibeon.
Tawa ake na Gabaon ake kuna puisque bana Israël bazaki na kopesa libonze pa na Nzambe na Gabaon moko na bisika.
Solomon went there since the Israelites were still giving their offerings in Gibeon.
Bible so ba ke pour la première.
The Bible tells us for the first time. The Bible shows us.
Salomon a pesi ebonza libonze ya 1000 holocauste.
And Solomon gave an offering of 1,000 holocausts.
Ezani.
What is it?
Alinkoloba naye naza ambassadeur ya bolamu, ambassadeur ya gloire ya Nzambe ndenge o visitenga ndenge na hotel maliboso na.
Said I've come here as a representative of your goodness. The way you have visited me is how I will stand before you.
Ndeko nanga ya des gens qui ont la gloire.
Brethren, there are people who have glory.
Metant bazo ya liboso nkolo.
When they come before the Lord,
bazo gloire pour servir mokili.
They give that glory to serve the world.
Il y a des gens qui ont la force.
There are people who have force.
Il y a des gens qui ont la capacité, l'intelligence.
There are people who have the capacity and the intelligence.
Il y a des gens qui ont le temps.
There are people who have the time.
Il y a des gens qui ont des talents.
There are people who have the talent.
Mais malamu est servir na mokili.
But it's best for it to serve the world.
Eko servir pour na msala na Nzambe.
It cannot serve for the work of God.
Eko servir l'église.
It cannot serve the church.
Eko pambola batu mususu te.
It cannot bless other people.
Nkolo atalisi biso ke Salomon ayaki.
The Lord shows us that Solomon came.
Salomon aye avec tout ce qu'il avait comme gloire naye.
Solomon came with all that he had as glory.
1000 ngombe.
1,000 cattle. Because he was rich. And he was the son of someone who was rich. So he's standing before God according to the goodness that God has done for him. If God gives you strength, work for him with that strength. If God gives you a mouth, use that mouth for his glory. If God gives you time, use that time for his glory. If God gives you the capacity to move, worship him. Because in the world of the dead, they will not be doing these things. Brethren, do not come alone. Bring all those who are connected to you. Those who are the representatives of the goodness of God. Like the Israelites should have left. It's how Solomon came. And where did he come? In Gibeon. Years afterwards, he came to give his offering in Gibeon. I mean, he was ruling over the whole of Israel except for Gibeon.
No,
including Gibeon. And so all the 1,000, where did it come from? In Gibeon. What you refuse to give, someone else will give it. If God gives to you and you're not using it, He'll make someone else stand and they will use it. He's giving you money and you will not give. He's giving you He's giving you money and you don't want to work for God. He's giving you a voice and you do not want to use it. He's giving you charm and you do not want to use it. He's giving you a capacity and you do not want to use it. God will take someone else and they will do it. They will give it to someone else and they will do it. Solomon said, the people of Gibeon, but you are cursed. You are under limitations. There is no other work that you can do. Just being woodcutters and to fetch water. It's not nice. I will give an offering for you. He took for Gibeon 1,000 cattle and he gave it to God. And that night, in his sleep, God came to him. He knocked. Solomon, ask of me anything that you want and I will give to you. He said, Lord, you have shown me lots of goodness. Give me wisdom and intelligence so I can guide your nation. There are many people. And God said, yes, I am very pleased with the way you are. Because he asked according to the position that God has put him. Brethren, you will be a wife or you're already a wife. It's not something that's small. You will be a father or a husband, and you're already a father or husband. It's a leadership role. It's not easy.
La sagesse.
It will ask with you wisdom.
Un cœur.
It asks for a heart.
Fruit de l'esprit.
It asks for the fruits of the spirit.
And
And all that,
Salomon.
like Solomon,
Et la kena Gabaon.
it came to him in Gibeon. When he came like a representative of the goodness of God. The Bible says when he went back, and if you look in 2 Kings, it'll show us that 2 women came to argue over a child. If he did not stand before God, where would he have gotten that intelligence? Brethren, do not neglect the opportunity that God has given you. You have an occasion to serve God, so serve your God. You have the occasion to elevate God, so elevate Him. Be a representative of the goodness of God. The royal city, don't let any other king or God go there. It's only the God that should go there. And what does the Bible tell us? In the time of Solomon, gold was something that was very current, that it was, everyone had it. You had cups that were made of gold and spoons that were made of gold. In the time of Solomon, people didn't even to check silver like that. What does that mean? God opened up a grace in before the offering that Solomon came to give. The people of Gibeon, they went from jobs of fetching water and being woodcutters, but they will become servants in the house of the Lord. Doors will open up for them and the limitations will end. And that's what Jesus came to do for us. When Jesus came, he met with us. Joshua is a Hebrew, it's the Greek word of Jesus. Joshua means God the Savior. Jesus, God the Savior. Jesus is in Greek, and Joshua comes from Hebrew. So he came in the Old Testament, but in the New Testament we have one that came in the flesh. And he came to break all the curses that were counted upon us. When we met with him, he doesn't want us to hide that royal city. Open your heart. Be a representative of the royal city where you come from. Tell him that you say, you know me. I have come from the world and I am a representative of this. But I've come to receive you and through your covenant. So everything that I have brought with me. I give my strength to you. I give my body to you. I give my glory to you. I give my wealth to you. But most importantly, I give my heart to you. So we can make a covenant. Brethren, he will make the sun stand still for you. When the enemies come for you, he will make the sun stand still for you. Because he is faithful in his engagements. And he will bless you. And the doors of limitations will finish for you. And your descendants will have openings that was not given to them before. May the Lord help us understand what he wants to say to us. Let us bow our heads. Brethren, God is pleased with people who come the way they are. He will not throw any of them outside if you tell him the truth of your life. If the world can turn their backs on you, God will never do that.
ndenge Rahab afungola mutema
Like Rahab opened her heart,
me bandeko ya Gabaon basalaki yango te
but the Gibeonites did not use it.
bazalaki na posa nanu babénéficie na oyo ezalaki na Israel me balingi kotika banzambe na bango
They wanted to benefit what was in Israel, but they did not want to leave their gods.
balingi te nzambe azwa lipamboli na mabele na bango mpe na nkembo na bango
And they did not want God to take blessings and glory in their land.
ememaki bango na se ya bablocage na balimitation
And it brought them into blockages and limitations.
mais Salomon aye kosala quelque chose na mboka Gabaon
But Solomon came to do something in the land of Gibeon
alobi oyo bopesaki te tika topesa
and said, what you did not give, let us give to you.
e moko koleka Salomon na Josué ezalaki Yesu ayaki kosala plus que cela
But what was more important is that Solomon and Joshua came to do more than that.
ezali Yesu Masiya
It was Jesus Christ.
asalaki
He did it.
oyo ezalaki kopesa vie na ye
That was giving his life
liboso ya tata
before the Father,
représentant ya makambo nyonso ya mokili alataki na nzoto na ye
and he was the representative of all the things, and he put it on his body,
e azwelaki biso ya pardon
and he took a forgiveness for us.
apesaki biso bomoko
He gave us unity
na Nzambe
with God.
tokoki kokota na ndako na Nzambe
We can go into the house of the Lord.
malédiction elongwe likolo na biso
Curses have left us,
tokoki kozwa opportunité ya kokitana de génération en génération
and we have the opportunities to go from generation to the next
na kati na présence ya Nzambe
in the presence of the Lord.
yango wana mitikala maboko na
That's why
Nzambe
leave yourself in the hands of God.
Nzambe alingi repentance
God wants repentance.
Nzambe alingi justice
God wants justice,
Nzambe alingi vérité
and God wants
bondela
truth. Let us
Seigneur
pray.
notre Dieu merci
Lord our God, thank you.
totikeli yo nkolo mitema na biso
We give our hearts to you.
topesi yo bomoi na biso
We give our lives to
na
you
lolenge toyokeli
in the way that we have heard.
tika mitema na biso ebikambolo
May our hearts have the grace
tozala na bomoko na yo
so we can be one with you
na sembo
in righteousness
epe na solo
and in truth,
mpe yopambola biso
and so you can bless us.
na kombo
In the name of Jesus,
merci